Hello, my name is Jeremia Orquidigala from Capi State University, taking a Bachelor of Secondary Education major in English. And in this video, I will be answering the 4 questions of the video discussion for the day 4 activity. And of course, I have read the poem of John Donne, which is Death Be Not Proud. Now, let's start answering the questions. The first question is, what is the poem supposed to say? So, closely inspecting the poem with time and deep analysis, the poem mainly focuses on death, how it serves as a prideful individual, as the poem represented, which should be feared by everyone. The poem primarily and firmly establishes the idea of death as a proud, a mighty, and a dreadful being that has the power to overthrow every living being. However, at the same time, or as the poem progresses, the idea of death changes as the author compares it with rest, sleep, and peace, creatively indicating that death can be more of these, expressing the idea of death as an eternal pleasure, and contradicting its power by stating that death itself will die. The poem is supposed to say that death is a resting face towards eternal life. Now let's proceed to answer the question number 2, which is, where does the poem break down? So the poem breaks down in the line 3 to 4, where it states that for those whom thou thinkst thou dost overthrow, die not, poor death, nor yet canst thou kill me. So in these lines, it raises questions to the readers as to what death really is. In reality, we do indeed fear death, and when it comes to us, it would be the end of everything. It is indeed feared by everyone who lives, yet the author sees it as a poor being that cannot overthrow him, who cannot overpower him. What should the readers think of this? This idea will only lead to the idea of the author, who strongly contrasts the traditional idea of death with positiveness and bravery, as he sees it as a passage to eternal rest, which cannot be accepted by many in this modern day, as his views of Christianity is not understood by many, especially to those who are included or in this generation, like us. So the theme of the mood of the poem is dark, and it uses personification, alliteration, and metaphor. Now let's proceed to question number 3. How might it work against the author's intentions? So, in the part where the poem breaks down, this breaks the author's intention in establishing the idea of death, as I believe it even scares the readers more on the ideology of death. This negatively opposes as to what he wants to reach to the readers, what he wants to form in the minds of readers, and what he wants the readers to believe. As brave as he is, the readers cannot completely accept his ideology of death, as it can be defined according to what one believes, and in all of us, we vary within that field or within that category. However, his firm and creative and comforting words can create a spark or even change a reader's view of death. Now let's answer question number 4. Question number 4 has a question: write down some specific places where the text falls apart. So I have what I have answered in question number 2. I will also include it here, which is line 3 to 4. For those whom thou thinkst thou dost overthrow, Yet canst thou kill me, and the line 5 to 6, which I have added. From rest and sleep, which but thy pictures be, much pleasure then form thee, much more must flow. I believe these are the lines where the text falls apart, as it romanticizes the idea of death despite of describing it as a proud being. He humbled death as if it is a poor and overpowered it through the view of accepting it as eternal rest. Yet many, especially in this generation, cannot connect to the idea of it. And I can say that those who are in the age of the elderly gladly welcomes death. However, they still fear it. Death is something that is certain in an individual's life, and after death is ultimately unassured, which differs to the author. All of us are not certain with what comes after death, yet this poem positively embraces the uncertainty or the certainty and comfort of death, which falls apart in the reader's analyzation of the poem. So that would be all for day 4.